This is 2X-Man, my modded Warcraft character that takes double damage from all sources in the game. Every melee hit, every spell, and every mistake is way more brutal. And somehow I need to reach level 60 with only 3 lives, that if I lose, my character is locked forever. Last episode I spun a random class wheel that landed on Paladin and started in the Blood Elf area, where I lost 2 lives to dumb mistakes and insane damage, which means this run has now become hardcore, and I'm stuck doing it on one of the hardest classes for this challenge. Now that I'm level 22, one of the rules that I set is once I outlevel a zone's range, I have to move on to a new one. My main options are the Barrens, Stone Talon Mountains, Ashenvale, and Hillsbrad Foothills. I chose Hillsbrad because it was the closest to the Blood Elf area, so I took the Orb of Translocation from Silvermoon to Undercity and rode across Silverpine Forest, mining any ore I saw along the way, since that would be very important later on. Eventually, I made it to Hillsbrad Foothills, which was exciting but also terrifying because this zone has some really dangerous human areas I'd eventually have to enter. My first quest in the zone came from Deathstalker Lesh, who sent me to the Horde's main town, Terran Mill. The problem was that I had to cross basically the entire zone to get there.
Where are these guys, 26? These guys are high. I didn't realize they were that high.
I eventually made it to Terran Mill and picked up every quest I could, even though some of them were pretty much impossible for me to do right now. But now my map was completely packed with options, so I decided to start with the boring but efficient kill and collect quests for spiders and bears. Except they weren't boring at all, because I almost died fighting basically every single enemy.
That was so close.
Even as a protection paladin, which I think is the only spec that can realistically survive this challenge. Bears that deal physical damage, the type I'm supposed to be the strongest against, were still shredding my health bar. So I played it extremely carefully and grinded bears, spiders, and later cats until I reached a comfortable level 24 to take on one of the most dangerous areas in the zone.
Wow, that's a big upgrade. That's actually really strong.
And while doing that, I also kept upgrading one of my most important talents, Toughness, which increases the armor value I get from items, making me tankier, which can absolutely come in clutch. For Durnhold Keep, a broken down castle filled with deadly humans from the Syndicate criminal organization. My quests required me to kill a bunch of them and rescue 2 captured orcs. The problem is, these enemies tend to stay packed together, which makes it really easy for multiple mobs to get on me at once. So I had to take my time and use a strategy called line of sighting, which is basically pulling an enemy and then hiding behind an object to force them to run to me. It's really useful, especially against ranged mobs.
Could I have fallen through here? I just realized I probably could have. I think I could have fallen through here. That would have been insane. Look how much damage that does. That does so much damage. Like, do I even survive if I don't stun that? Like, that's shredding through my everything.
That human I just killed is one of the enemies I need to free my orc allies, since they dropped the keys I'm after. Luckily, they weren't too difficult, which let me rescue the easier prisoner first. The problem was the second one. He's located in a much more dangerous, deeper section of the castle, which for some reason, the mobs are stacked right on top of each other. Thankfully, I played this game way too much and know a pretty cool strategy. The orc prisoner is inside this house filled with enemies, and the best way for me to reach him is to take this little shortcut around the edge and drop down beside it. That lets me skip a huge amount of enemies that honestly probably would have ended the challenge. But once I get there, I still have to pull the mobs inside the house, and there's a lot of them. I have no idea how many will come after me, but it was a risk I have to take.
I'm out of range.
That's fine. It's perfectly fine. Okay. Yup, out of here. I'm out of here. That was so nerve-wracking, because you can't mess that up. Especially when I'm down here, like I literally can't escape.
Thankfully, Protection Paladin can still handle a few mobs even with 2x damage, which let me finish the quest to get a really nice reward and hit another level.
Whoa, this is a big upgrade. Thank you.
Now I had the 4th row of talents unlocked, and my best option was improved Devotion Aura, which increases the armor I get from the ability, but also boosts all healing I receive up to 6%, which is amazing. Now level 25, instead of taking on the even more dangerous human area of Hillsbrad Fields, with much higher level enemies that are way too risky for a hardcore run, I decided to cross the continent for the first time and head to Ashenvale. It has a slightly lower level range and enough quests for me to safely push towards the big level 30 breakpoint. But first, I had to make use of all the copper and tin ore I mined while questing and combine them into bronze, so I can craft a new rough bronze set, which was about to take my gear to another level.
This chest piece and I made these leggings, these should give me massive boosts in damage and just like survivability, hopefully. I'm matching now. I got a good amount of gear now. This is solid.
Then I took a zeppelin to Orgrimmar, rode across the Barrens, and made my way to Ashenvale, the home of the Night Elves, who I was happy to farm for XP. I remember this quest. This is like going to like the Night Elf like hut right here and like facing them. This is actually a pretty cracked quest. I think as soon as I accept it, it starts it. I don't... Ooh, that's a good weapon. I don't think I'm gonna go get that right now. Again, I want to be as careful as humanly possible. Let's get this though. Ashenvale Outrunners. Slay some Night Elves. Fire. I think these Night Elves I have to face here, I think they're invisible, yeah. So that's actually extremely annoying. Okay, I just got poisoned. Okay, let's lock in. Oh my gosh. Crazy. I'm pretty tanky now though. I got triple stun. Whoa. What is that? Why is that there? It's not even rare. Like, what is that? After slaughtering all those wonderful Night Elves, I turned in the quest, hit level 26, and made my way to a nearby lake to kill some elementals. Okay, Frostbow, how much is this gonna do? 100 damage? I can't drink in water, so I have to go to somewhere where I can sit. There's like all these little things I don't think about, like that I'm now thinking about. Okay. Oh shit, I didn't realize this thing was getting... Where did this come from? Like, that was scary. That thing just randomly spawned. That was super scary. I was like, that actually jump scared me. Surprisingly though, Ashenvale was pretty underwhelming overall, outside of the occasional massive elite that would have completely ruined the challenge. Look at that. What is that, bro? Why is it just a random giant tree here? That's insane. Or the random mob that looks easy but has a buff that combined with the 2x modifier creates a lethal situation. Enrage, crazy. 100% more damage. Oh my gosh. That is insane. He essentially was doing 3x on me. Like, oh my gosh. I think these guys spawn something. Bloodlust, attack speed increased by 30. These guys got crazy abilities. Other than that, I cruised through Ashenvale, started stacking some levels, and picked up some really nice upgrades along the way. Ooh, I get a big shield upgrade here. Whoa. Thank you. I've been waiting for it. That's going to increase my armor by so much. Big upgrade with that shield. I love that. So right now, my physical damage reduced by 38. 42. Wow, 4%. That's big. I then slayed some demons using exorcism, which always crits against them, and somehow even got a few better upgrades, while also reaching level 29. And that was when I decided to head to Thousand Needles. I didn't actually have to go there yet, but I kind of wanted a change of scenery. And somewhere along the way, I remembered a very crucial game mechanic. There is an elite group in Barnes I do have to watch for. They're like down here. Yeah, right here. Look at them. Look how much health they have. That's insane. It's so lucky I got game knowledge, so I know there's something. I know they're there. That is one of the scariest things about WoW. There are so many random dangers, so something unexpected could very easily end my journey to level 60. And still traumatized from my first life loss from fall damage, I took the elevator into 1000 Needles very seriously, off my mount and moving as slow as possible. After that, I took the second terrifying elevator up to the horde town of Freewing Post, grabbed all the quests I could, and started clearing the easier ones first, like fighting these earth elementals or controlling this robot to steal water from the night elves. Delicious cave mold? What? Bro, who is eating that? Nice. Now level 30, I unlocked the 5th row of talents, and this one was huge because of 2 game-changing talents, Blessing of Sanctuary and Reckoning. The first one is kind of similar to Blessing of Kings, which is what I've been using for the 10% stat increase, but this new buff boosts my strength and stamina by 10%, while also reducing all damage I take by 3%, stacked with improved Righteous Fury. That brings me to a massive 9% damage reduction. In reality, it's not the craziest ability by itself, but it unlocks something later I'll need. Reckoning though is on another level. It gives me up to a 10% chance whenever I block or get hit to trigger an effect that lets me double auto attack for 8 seconds. But I didn't have it unlocked yet, so I did some mindless grinding to hit level 31 and then made my way to the most dangerous area in 1000 Needles, the Shimmering Flats. A huge barren white desert filled with early to mid level 30 mobs. The good news is that it also has a ton of quests stacked right on top of each other, which meant I could complete a bunch of them at the same time. Like, fear is, oh my gosh. So I'm doing horrendous damage. Just killing these mobs itself will get me to 32, and I guess the quest will get me to 33. 14 seconds sleep? Okay, so I thought it gets broken. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. 32. Let's go. I don't even know how long I grinded for. It felt like forever, killing birds, basilisks, and turtles until I had finished all the quests there. But instead of handing them in right away, I saved them for later and went back to the lower level parts of 1000 Needles to hand in those quests first. That eventually brought me to one of the most interesting quest lines in the zone, the Grim Totem, an evil faction of cows that I had to kill on these insanely high cliffs, which made me nervous. This is gonna hurt. Yup. Even this low level, look how much damage spellcasters do. Oh my gosh, why do you... I knew to hug the wall. Like, look at that. That is such a troll ability. Are you serious? This game is cooked. You see that? Why are you doing Thundershock? What is that? No, Thunderstorm. Like, on here? Are you crazy? I just gotta time it. Oh my god. Run, 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 run. Oh, holy goodness. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not going up there. I'm not going up there. 4 of them came after me. Like, what? How's someone supposed to fight that? That was so risky. Imagine that crit me. How much damage did I take? I got hit with Earthshock for 206 damage. It's 103, but it's actually double. If that crit, that would have done 400 damage. That was razor close. And what's crazy is how low level they were to be doing that much damage. But magical bypasses all armor, which makes it one of the scariest things to deal with in this challenge. So instead of that, I went back to the Shimmering Flats, handed in all the quests I had saved up, and jumped all the way to level 33 and then 34. Which means I'm now over halfway to level 60 in this 2x challenge, with only 1 life left. So far, there's been a lot of close calls and risky situations I've had to survive, but soon I'll be unlocking some of my most powerful abilities around level 40. So stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.